The Outlanders Journey. Tier 1, Level 3. Chapter 22. Brother, you reacquaint yourself with the furbolgs for the next few days. With your strength recovered, you help the men construct a new longhouse for the nomads. Though the orcs can continue to live in the guest house indefinitely, you learn that it may be easier for them to reside closer to the furbolg communities here. Exchanging information and resources will be much more convenient. The old whisperer teaches you to chop down trees, carve wood planks, hammer in scaffolding, line the walls with animal hides. All around you are sturdy, muscular furbolgs, much taller than you. Long hair, curly beards, deep voices. They ruffle your hair and dote on you over simple tasks, such as passing over a plank of wood. To them, you are still a child, no older than the day you left them. You don't remember any of them, and yet each time you speak to them, you feel this anguished longing, as though you've missed them for many years. All of the furbolgs are extremely skilled craftsmen and physical workers. You are surprised that none of them seems to possess any druidic magic like Mama did. When they aren't building the house, they forage for food, wrestle bison back into their fencing, repair homes, and, in some instances, hunt large animals that roam too close. With bare hands and simple clubs or knives, they can down a giant moose and dismantle it into meat. Each time you watch your own people feasting on animals, you feel this visceral, gut-rending disgust. Your stomach churns as the acid rises up your esophagus. Inside the old whisperer's longhouse, sitting before the fire pit, you hear the chewing, the crunching of cartilage, the slurping, the smacking of lips, masticating what was once a living being no more than a few hours ago. You close your eyes as you nibble at the dry meat, holding your breath as you force it down your throat. So much has changed. Even among your own kind, things are no longer the same. The past is not a place you can ever return to. After a difficult lunch, the old whisperer takes out a cracked wooden smoking pipe. He lights the end and closes his eyes as he inhales the fumes, blowing out the black smoke. You watch it rise to the ceiling, mixing with the firewood smoke and dispersing into the exposed roof. It's a cloudy day today. Snow is expected to fall in a few hours, most likely before sundown. The old whisperer offers you a drag of his pipe. After some hesitation, you accept the offer. You close your mouth around the tip, drawing in the smoke. You watch as the flames light up, burning away the strange, dried plant. You've inhaled too much. The heat shoots down your throat. You cough uncontrollably, and soot pours out of your mouth. The taste is bitter. The old whisperer pats you on the back. "It's all right, little one. I was not much better when I had my first taste." "Why do you smoke this?" you ask. He chuckles, blowing out another puff of smoke. "It calms my nerves. Your father used to smoke this all day." "Papa did?" You don't remember this detail anymore. His clothes did have a strong, smoky scent, but you quite liked it as a child. "Most of us do, in fact." You glance around at the other furbolgs, lounging by the fireplace, keeping warm. Many are catching a quick nap before work begins again. The women sit amongst themselves, sewing quilts or picking wild berries to preserve into jam. Was it always like this? Why can't you recall any of these details? "I thought," you say, "when I got here I would be home, but everything is different." "I know, little brother. I know." "Why do we eat meat?" "We try our best not to, despite how it appears." He opens a little pouch containing more dried tobacco leaves and he sprinkles another pinch into his pipe. Since we are laboring in the harsh cold, we require a more hearty diet. It's difficult in these times. Our usual food sources are no longer reliable. But we always said it was wrong to eat the animals. When we had people like your mother, the fruit bearer, it was possible for us to subsist off her magical nourishment. But ever since our departure from our homeland, our druids have found this place too overpowering for them. The reason you were so sick when you first came here was the same reason many others had to leave. We separated because the land was inhospitable to those like yourself or your mother. He squeezes your shoulder. I was worried you would fall ill again when you returned to us. I have been observing you for the last few days. I'm relieved to see how well you are. You seem much stronger than you were as a child. You have renewed our hope for the reunification of the Furbolgs. What do you mean? You ask. If you wish to find your mother again, please tell her that you have lived safely in these parts. Perhaps it's possible for all of them to return here, and we will become one people again. In you, I see your potential to bring us back together, to earn the title of Unifier. Unifier? You repeat. You like the sound of this name on your tongue. Everything is different, including me. I want to be someone else, someone new. Perhaps you will be, little brother. In nearly 10 years, only you have returned to us. I believe it is a sign from Sylvanus of a new hope. 10 years, you repeat. What could you have accomplished in those 10 years you were held captive? What title, what identity would you have earned amongst your kind? There is so much lost time to recover. Soon, everyone resumes their work again. As you follow the old whisperer to carry more logs to the construction site, you are tapped on the shoulder by an elderly man titled the Guardian. Even hunched over, he stands taller than you, his veined hand full of scars and burns. He gestures at someone behind him, and you look over to find Leoren waiting regally. Sometimes, his posture reminds you of Mr. Senos. His coat falls to his shins, and he folds his hands together. He regards you with a single nod and gentle smile. Leoren approaches you. His footsteps are nearly imperceptible, as though he is gliding toward you. We sent for an ancient seer to help you, he says. She arrived last evening, and she is prepared to begin the ritual to recover your memories. If you are ready, come with me. You turn around for a moment, making eye contact with the old whisperer. He nods, shooing you along, almost dismissively. Tonight, you will have your memories restored, and soon, you will be well enough to see Mama again. Then, you will return to Mama, and this time, you know with certainty that you will bring her home. Unifier, the true name you shall earn. You and Leoren meet up with Mayalee, Laurel, and Errol on your way to Ihi's home. Gentle snow has begun to fall. It tickles your ears and nose as it lands on your face. In the darkness, you are guided only by the light of a fire in the far distance, signifying Ihi's house. When you arrive, you are greeted by warmth emanating from the door. You knock. Nero answers, smiling. You step into the interior of the abode, and you're hit with the strong scent of medicinal herbs. An elderly drow woman is kneeling on the floor, grinding away at her mortar and pestle. Her frail arms churn with surprising focus and deftness. In front of her are a variety of dried and fresh flora, lavender flowers, basil leaves, lilies, and more that you can't identify. Leoren soothingly ushers you and Mayalee further inside. You squeeze her hand. They're shaking. Laurel and Errol close the door behind them. You notice 2 beds arranged side by side, surrounded by a circle of candles on the floor. The further into the room you go, the denser the air feels. It seems to cling to you with a sort of electrical energy, like tiny invisible fairies are pricking every inch of your skin. You know that Maya Lee must sense this too, perhaps to an even greater extent. You hope she isn't overwhelmed. Leoran motions toward the bed. "Lie back and make yourselves comfortable," he says. "We're expecting you to sleep through the night." "I don't usually sleep," says Maya Lee. "You will for this." You glance down at her. There's unease in her eyes. She leans into you, holding your hand tightly. "Can you move our beds closer so that they're touching?" Leora nods. "Of course." He steps over and pushes his knees into the bed, pressing them together. The bedsteads screech loudly against wood floors, much like the sound of Mr. Senos opening the basement door. As if on cue, a door cracks open, and you turn to see Nero guiding Ihi out of the bedroom. She's limping, fully propped up by Nero, who only reaches Ihi's waist. Slowly and steadily, they hobble their way toward you. You settle into your bed. You feel yours creak and dip under your weight. You slept on an unchanged, decrepit bed since you were 10 years old. Yet, ever since you left, you haven't had a better night's sleep than in that prison. All your true memories, should they be restored, may shatter what little sense of control and hope you had constructed for yourself back there. So little of the fantasies you conjured in that dark room had any bearing on reality. Laurel and Errol each pull up a chair at the foot of your beds. Maya Lee pulls Errol in for one last hug before she lies flat on her back. Her body stiff as her eyes are squeezed shut. Laurel leans in and kisses you on the forehead. Saki, perched on her shoulder, is gazing curiously into your eyes. "It'll be all right," says Laurel. "I'll be with you the whole time." As you lie down, she circles around to Maya Lee, bending over and planting a soft kiss on her forehead as well. Into her ears, Laurel whispers an inaudible word of encouragement. Maya Lee's shoulders relax. The elderly drow woman pushes herself to her feet, and she lumbers over to you, eyes closed, passing Ihi and Nero. She swings her right foot out to the side with each step, and as it impacts the ground, it lands with a loud, wooden thud. You realize she has a prosthetic leg. Did she travel all the way here on foot with that leg? Leoren takes her by the arms and ushers her to you. The strong smell of the salve in her mortar overwhelms your nostrils. It's not particularly unpleasant, but it instantly makes you feel lightheaded. You pinch your nose. "This is Seer Mikas," says Leoren. "She arrived yesterday to aid you two. She's going to apply some calming herbs. It should make the process more serene." Seer Mikas kneels before you. She reaches her free hand out, grasping at the air, her eyes still closed. Her fingers are long and bony, laced with cuts and scars running up her wrist and beyond. She finds your cheek. Her hands are frigid. She breathes in deeply through her nose, as if taking in your smell. She opens her eyes, revealing cloudy white pupils. She gazes both into you and beyond you as she exhales through her mouth. You catch a light whiff of horse mint. She dips her fingers into the mortar, scooping out the fragrant salve. It takes on a dark green hue. She rubs it between her thumb and forefinger, and she begins to hum a low, sorrowful melody. "Our children know no peace," she whispers, and she applies the cold balm to your forehead and your cheeks. "But perhaps in seeing the truth, they will better know who they are." Your eyes focus on the two discolored brands on both sides of her face. One is identical to the marking on Leoren's cheek, scalding on the right side. The other is a pattern you have never seen before, taking on the faint outline of a mountain. A jagged X is carved across this second brand. In her mournful eyes, you sense a life that has suffered through and witnessed unbearable hardship. Strangely, you find solace in her visage. Seer Mikos waves at Errol. "Beautiful girl," she says, in an almost cooing tone. "Come help me apply this ointment." Errol shoots out of her seat, bowing her head at Seer Mikos with great reverence as she cradles the mortar in her arms. You close your eyes, and you hear the seer's prosthetic limb banging against the floor. Maya Lee loops her arm around yours. She's quivering. "It's okay, Lily," you whisper. You open one eye, but your vision is partly obscured by the salve covering your eyelids. Seer Mikos caresses Maya Lee's face, breathing steadily as Maya Lee's body freezes up even more. Errol leans in, humming the same soft tune that the seer sang earlier. Gingerly, she applies the herbal salve over Maya Lee's face. Out of the corner of your eyes, you notice a momentary expression of surprise on the seer's face as she watches Errol. She smiles, revealing yellowed, crooked teeth, and whispers into Errol's ear. Rather bashfully, Errol only turns her gaze down and nods. You hear her whisper, "Yes, I know the song too, Seer Mikos." Maya Lee grabs Errol's wrist while tightening her grip even more around your hand. "It feels strange," she whimpers. "It's numbing." "That's right," says Seer Mikos, stepping closer. "You are safe with us. Don't worry, little one." "Will it really be okay?" asks Maya Lee. "Yes, little one. Your life has only begun." Seer Mikos strokes Maya Lee's hair. "You are already so misunderstood. Child of the wilds, you have been defined by others' fear of you." She applies the last of the balm over her eyes, and to your surprise, Maya Lee lets out a tickled laugh. Seer Mikos begins to rise to her feet again. She takes each of your hands and kisses gingerly. "You are safe with us," she repeats. "Do not be afraid." Nero and Ihi finally approach you. You close your eyes. You hear Leoren pulling over a chair, and you listen as Ihi slowly lowers herself. The chair creaks with an inviting pitch, as if welcoming an old friend. "Is it going to hurt?" asks Maya Lee. "There may be a slight physical pain," says Ihi, and you know she is sitting right next to you. "It depends on how drastically he has altered your memories. Discovering the truth may also be difficult to accept at first, but we are here for you at every step, as are our dear companions." "What if the truth is bad?" whispers Maya Lee. "It may very well be," says Ihi. "Will it make us stronger?" you ask. "Strength is not the goal," says Ihi. Her voice is stern yet sympathetic. "But you are here to rediscover the identity that you have lost." You nod. It is as the old whisperer told you. So much of yourself, including your name, has been reconstructed. You have been unrooted, and without good soil, you could not grow or bear fruit. In this broken state, you do not deserve to see Mama. I'm ready, you say, swallowing. Can I keep holding his hand? Asks Maya Lee. Of course, says Ihi. Maya Lee squeezes one last time, pulling your hand up and kissing your knuckles. I'm ready too. You hear Ihi exhaling deeply. Then we shall begin. I must apologize. I will have to remove my gloves for this procedure. Please do not be troubled by the sensation. Someone steps forward, and you hear the rattling of little stones, perhaps in a pouch. The contents are spilled out, and you sense this warmth in the air, sharp yet oddly pristine. Something is being brought closer to you, until it seems to be right next to your face, wafting a stench of decay. You sense Maya Lee reel back, pulling your hand with her. I will not touch you directly with my hand, says Ihi. But I must place the residuum directly onto you in order to cast the spell. Stay still and keep breathing. You recall the days with Mr. Senos, in which you were told to acquiesce to his demands, to shut your eyes. You were not to resist, and in your naivety, you trusted him completely with your entire life. You feel Laurel's presence watching over you. The air calms, almost like soft blankets draping over you. Seer Mikos begins to hum softly. You sense Ihi's looming form. Her rhythmic breathing tickles your beard. Great Sylvanos, great deities of the land, you hear Ihi pray. Guide this young soul through these trying times. Watch over him. Open his mind so that his true self may be revealed. Restore to him what has been stolen. A cold, hard, stone-like object is placed on your forehead. Even with your eyes closed, you can see the otherworldly glow emanating from this stone. It searches for your heartbeat, matching its rhythm, and its radiating warmth envelops your head, and then shoulders, and then arms. At first, it is a pleasant sensation, like a sturdy embrace. But its hold tightens, its heat growing hotter and hotter, until it seems to bore into your chest, boiling the spilling blood. You scream in agony, writhing and convulsing. Steaming tears gush out of your eyes. You flail your arms about, and you sense hands lashing out at you, pressing you further down. One of the hands digs its nail into your forehead, and you are suddenly paralyzed by its hold. Brother! Someone screams. Silence. You open your eyes, and you find yourself swimming in a vast stream of starlight. They zip past you in flashes, or maybe you're flying past them. Then one of them hits your shoulder, and you suddenly recall a bitter taste. Then another into your thigh, and you hear the cry of a baby. More and more begin to strike you. Each impact triggers a memory in your mind, too quick to fully process. At first, the recollections are fragmented and unrelated. Soon, you see the first image of Mr. Senos, then another of him slapping you across the face. More and more until nearly all of them feature Mr. Senos. There he is, standing above you with fury in his eyes, the pure sensation of pain and fear coursing through your quivering body. Then, something shifts. You are older. You are now the one standing over Mr. Senos. The walls and the floors and the tables and chairs destroyed. Rage and murderous intent filling your body, staring down at this frail man whose wand is pointed defensively at you, blood trickling down his forehead and arms. You are a young child again. Mr. Senos grabs your face, glaring. You have always had a name, he says. Buck has been and always will be who you are. Remember that well. Mama kneels on the floor, cradling something in her arms, crying uncontrollably. You are clawing and biting and screaming for her to please don't let you go. Her final words, be good to him. You are screaming and thrashing. You catch Papa's distant voice, the clatter of something metallic, your baby brother in your arms, his cries ringing in your ears. Your mother screeches in protest before a door bursts open and the shadow of Mr. Senos rushes to you. A younger Mr. Senos introduces himself to you and Mama and Papa. He kneels before you, ruffling your hair with an expression of gleeful curiosity. He glances up at your parents and says, in perfect giant, "Tell me, from where did he get such abilities?" You hold Mama's hand as you wade through waist-high snow. Your hand slips from hers and you fall away, your body burning. The snow around you is melting. Your consciousness fades as a shadow towers above you. Your head feels as though it is expanding, on the verge of bursting. Each memory is stabbing you with greater and greater intensity, and as you try to touch your own face, you realize you have no body. You are formless and empty. You cry out from everywhere simultaneously. Your voice, you realize, has reverted to what you had as a child. You plead for Mama to save you. Please, 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 you plead. Why did you let me go? Be good. Time stops. The starlights stop falling. They rest in place, twinkling once again like a typical night sky. Loud footsteps begin to approach from behind. For a moment, you wonder if this is another memory of Mr. Senos, but to your surprise, a different, though familiar, booming voice calls out to you. We meet again, unnamed daughter of the fruit bearer. Fate continues to bring us together. The voice touches you, and your form returns. You glance down to find your own hands and feet once more. You twist around to find an elderly man. You recall that you've heard his voice once before, in the Feywild. Encircling him are 6 twinkling golden canaries, fluttering like a halo, their brightness no less than the stars surrounding you. Who are you? You ask. Your voice is back to normal. He holds a wooden walking stick and dons plain gray robes. His face is obscured by his long, bushy eyebrows. His beard extends down to his chest. He is at least 2 feet shorter than you, appearing frail, and yet he carries an overwhelming presence. He gazes directly at you, revealing sapphire, almost feline-like eyes, and your knees buckle at the sight. Instinctively, your body attempts to bow. In you, I see a strong resolve, he says, the syllables of his words beating in place of your heart. You are loyal and dutiful. Your soul is virtuous, though it has not fully reached its potential. He presses the bottom of his cane on your chest. The force pushes into you, compressing the air out of your lungs. You are unable to speak, but the sensation is not painful. Your mind cools, and your vision extends far into the distance. You are standing on a clear pool of water, black like the night sky. Below you, a reflection gazes back. A woman. You. You've seen her before. Rest, he continues. You will need it to combat the agent who seeks your containment. Learn from the ones you are with. Grow stronger. Trust your mind and your heart. They are true. You have so many questions to ask him, but you are still silenced. The canaries glow even brighter, engulfing your vision. The next thing you know, he is gone. Air suddenly enters your lungs again. Wait! You shout. You clamber across the waters, splashing and disturbing the reflective surface. Wait! Don't go! Brother, you hear. The voice is behind you. It's Laurel's. You spin around. The starlights have disappeared. The water gives way, and you fall in. Laurel! You try to shout, but water only pours into your mouth. Standing at the surface, gazing down at you, is a tall figure, his hands extended, ready to grab you. I'm here. It's all right, I'm here. Laurel! Open your eyes. Long ago, Mama taught you how to open your inner eyelids, granting you the ability to see into the universe of the gods. You remember that time now. Your calves dipped into the surface of a lake, peering up into the clear night sky. Her hands guided your fingers as she taught you the constellations. And then, holding you in her arms, she taught you how to close your eyes and open your inner eyes. Brother! Your eyes pop open. Your vision is hazy, but the faint outline of Laurel's face hangs above you. Her fingers are stroking your hair. You smell Seer Mikas's medicinal herbs. You're drenched in sweat, wrapped tightly in blankets. Your pillows are soaked with your tears. Laurel? You whimper. I'm here. It's all right. She leans in and kisses your forehead. You wipe away your tears. You glance around to find the room mostly empty. To your left is Maya Lee, curled up in a ball, still squirming around as though in a nightmare. Errol is asleep at the foot of her bed, a thin blanket draped over her shoulders, her arms stretched forward touching Maya Lee's knee. Across the room, Leoren is sitting in a chair, leaning against the wall with his arms crossed. He seems to be in a meditative state. A dim candlelight flickers on the table beside him. Little paws climb onto your chest, and Saki's soft tail brushes across your neck. She settles on your stomach, yawning as she curls up into a ball. Where are the others? You ask. They've retired for the night. It's pretty late right now. Shouldn't you be sleeping? Errol and I are taking turns. Don't worry. More importantly, how are you feeling? I don't know. Tired? Yeah, I bet, she says. You seemed really distraught for a lot of it. I wasn't sure how to help you, except to keep holding you. Did I hurt anyone? She shakes her head. No, buddy, no. Okay, you say, though you don't believe her. The harshest memory that continues to replay in your mind is one that Mr. Senos never took away in the first place. Mama really did give you away. That was never a false memory. What did you learn? She asks. You wrap your arms around Saki, pulling her into you as you sit up. She purrs, opening her eyes as she rolls onto her back. Mama really did give me away, you say. She let me go. Laurel grimaces with genuine anguish. I'm so sorry. I thought I would learn why, but I didn't. I have even more questions. Laurel puts her arms around your neck, rocking a bit. Do you still want to go back to her? I don't know. Maybe she doesn't want me. She told me to be good for him, for Mr. Sanos. Maybe she was tricked by Sanos too. I don't know. It's silent for a while. You rock with Laurel, pulling her in closer. Even with your memories restored, you only recall bits and pieces of your time here and your time with Mama and Papa in the north. All of the most detailed, excruciating memories that returned were from your time with Mr. Sanos. Every beating and lashing and insult he put you through, as well as all the times you nearly murdered him. Laurel? Yeah? You pull away and gaze into her eyes. They've taken a few different forms since you first met her, but you have learned, slowly, what her different expressions mean. When she told you that Mr. Sanos was dead, you realize now that she was deceiving you to protect you. No more lies, okay? You say. She blinks, a bit puzzled. All right. Of course. Sanos is alive, isn't he? Laurel closes her eyes, furrowing her brow as she sighs. She presses her forehead against your shoulder. I'm sorry. He's coming, isn't he? She nods. I was planning, when the two of you get back to your families, to go back to New Everlon and take care of that. I didn't want you two to worry about him ever again. You were going to leave? You say, and it dawns on you that she was also, in a way, planning to give you up. She shakes her head, still pressed against your shoulder. I don't know what I was going to do. Her voice breaks, and she sniffles. Her breath is warm. Maya Lee whimpers out the word, Father. She raises her arms into the air, tears rolling across her face, her lower lip quivering. Please! Will Maya Lee be awake soon? You ask. She started a little bit after you, but it should be soon. You run your fingers through Maya Lee's hair. Ever since Errol started brushing it every morning, it's been soft and silky. She was the one who set you free in the first place. Laurel? You say. Yeah? I don't want Mr. Sanos to hurt us ever again. Yeah? We'll never be safe as long as he's alive, right? Laurel inhales sharply. Yeah. So, he has to die then. I have to kill him for good. Laurel's eyes widen, her mouth hanging open. No, brother, I can't let you do that. Were you going to kill him? You ask. Laurel bites her lower lip, shaking her head. That's different. You put your hands on her shoulders. Laurel, I want to be the one to do it. I want us to live without being scared of him ever again. Tears roll down her face. Her breathing quickens as her shoulders bounce. She lets out a pained sob. I can't let you do that to yourself. But I don't want Mr. Sanos to kill you, Laurel. She wipes her eyes. If you're set on this idea, then you have to let me come with you. You don't wish to involve her, but you also know you need her help in some capacity. Okay. The two of us alone probably won't be strong enough either. She glances around, her eyes settling on the unconscious Leoren. We'd need to get more help. She meets your gaze once more. Are you sure about this? You sense a new resolve come over you. Maya Lee and Laurel, both so small and delicate. You admired their capabilities so much at the beginning, but you are no longer the helpless one. You wish to become, if not a unifier, then a savior. Yes, you say. I am.